Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of IL and FS and Roadstar Infra Investment Trust, I am delighted to extend a very warm and very hearty welcome to each and everyone present over here. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and joining us here for a truly, truly memorable occasion. My name is Dhwani Karya, and it gives me immense pleasure to be standing in the capacity of your host today. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone in the journey of IL and FS Group and as InVIT, Roadstar Infra Investment Trust, as we celebrate the listing of its units on the stock exchanges. So let's have a huge round of applause and set the perfect tone for today's proceedings. Before we commence with the proceedings, I request everyone to kindly rise in attention for the national anthem.
गणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Request you to please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we gather here to celebrate a momentous occasion, the listing ceremony of IL and FS InVIT, Roadstar InVIT on the NSE. As we all know that IL and FS has been a test case for group resolution in the country, and the new Public Interest Board set up by the government has achieved significant progress in its journey to resolve India's biggest financial crisis. Having a significant portfolio of road assets under its fold, the group decided to use InVIT as an option to resolve some of its marquee road assets and through the InVIT route. Roadstar Infra Investment Trust, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Roadstar Infra Private Limited, was established with the objective of owning, operating and investing in infrastructure projects in the country, directly or indirectly, and is registered under the InVIT regulations. Roadstar Infra Investment Trust, through its project SPVs, together as 6 road assets under its portfolio, aggregating to 685.16 kilometers located across 6 states in India, namely Moradabad Bareilly Expressway Limited, MBEL, Sikar Bikaner Highway Limited, SBHL, Pune Sholapur Road Development Company Limited, PSRDCL, Barwa Adda Expressway Limited, BAEL, Tirunavarampuram Road Development Company Limited, TRDCL, and Hazari Ranchi Expressway Limited, HREL. Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly honored to have our esteemed dignitaries also with us today. I request all the dignitaries, when your name to be called out, to please stand up, wave at the audience, and take your seats back. So firstly, I would like to invite our chief guest for the day, Miss Parvati Morti, Associate Vice President, NSC. Very warm welcome, ma'am. Moving forward, we have here with us the visionary leaders and the board of directors from IL and FS and Roadstar InVIT. Please help me in welcoming the chairman and managing director of IL and FS Group, Mr. Nand Kishore. Welcome, sir. We have here with us and help me in welcoming the chairman of Roadstar InVIT, Dr. J.M. Singh. Welcome, sir. Please help me in welcoming the Chief Executive Officer of Roadstar InVIT, Mr. Danny Samuel. Welcome, sir. We have here with us our Board of Directors. Please help me in welcoming the Director of Roadstar InVIT, Mr. S.K. Mitra. Please help me in welcoming the Director of Roadstar InVIT, Ms. Lubna Usman. Welcome, ma'am. We have here with us the Roadstar InVIT Director, Ms. Preeti Grover. Welcome, ma'am. We have here with us the Roadstar InVIT Director, Dr. Rajiv Oberoi. Very, very warm welcome to all the dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very rich and a very beautiful tradition in our country that before starting a new and auspicious work, we take blessings from the Almighty. And to now invoke the blessings, we'll be having the lamp lighting ceremony. I request the dignitaries to please join me on stage. Ms. Parvati Morti from NSC, Mr. Nand Kishore, Dr. J.N. Singh, Mr. Danny Samuel, Mr. S.K. Mitra, Ms. Lubna Usman, Ms. Preeti Grover, and Dr. Rajiv Oberoi to please come forward on stage to do the lamp lighting ceremony. Let's have a huge round of applause for our dignitaries as we do the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. I also request Dr. Malini Shankar. Let's have a huge round of applause for Dr. Malini Shankar, please. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Sarvada
Nirvignam kuru me deva sarvakaryeshu sarvada.
With this lamp lighting, we pray that our prayers reach the Almighty. The fire within us to be the best, to be a winner, and to succeed always also burns very bright. Let's have a huge round of applause for our dignitaries for doing the honors of lighting the ceremonial lamp, which marks a new and prosperous beginning for us. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is my utmost privilege to introduce Mr. Nand Kishore, Chairman and Managing Director of IL and FS Group. Mr. Kishore, ladies and gentlemen, has been a very important part of the new IL and FS board since its inception and has played a pivotal role in architecting the group resolution framework as well as ensuring the resolution targets. He also played a key role in creating what we see as Roadstar InVIT today. So please put your hands together for Mr. Nand Kishore. So may I request you please come on stage? Yes, sir. It's a big round of applause for him, sir. Very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a momentous occasion for all of us, and it's quite overwhelming for me. It was, 1st of October 2018 that the new board, which we refer to as the Public Interest Board, that came into force, and under the section 241, 242 of the Companies Act 2013, the Government of India suspended the erstwhile board of ILFS and got appointed the new board through the NCLT Mumbai. The board was headed by a very prominent personality in the corporate world, Mr. Uday Kotak. We also had Mr. Vineet Nair, another renowned personality in the corporate world. We had Mr. C.S. Rajan, who later became chairman of the ILFS. I'm mentioning these names because they were very important in taking forward this resolution framework. Of course, all the members, past and present, of the new ILFS board have played a very, very important role in bringing ILFS to the present stage. When this new board was appointed, there were things bit in disarray, as Mr. Uday Kotak used to often refer it to as a Lehman moment of India. Some projects were stuck up. There was some, got derailed. And there was a bit of a gloominess. I'm being a bit, I'm understating a bit, but there was gloominess in the ILFS environment in general. And that was the time when the new ILFS board took control of ILFS affairs. It was tasked with resolution of almost 347 entities which were under the ILFS fold, and maximizing recovery to these creditors. The total debt was around 99,000 crores. So this was the task which this board actually took upon itself. Besides this, the board was also assumed the responsibility of maintaining the national assets. Most of the ILFS assets were public assets, national assets. So preservation of assets was a very important objective of ILFS board, and also keeping up the morale of the employees. With this, the ILFS board set out to resolve this group. And we started with first, if the whole group could be monetized. So it was a group level monetization. FTAs were appointed, they explored the market, and they came back with the feedback that perhaps at this point of time there were no takers for ILFS group as a whole. Then was attempted what we call vertical level resolution, that the whole vertical is put up for sale, and then we see whether there is a response in the market, whether there is appetite for those kind of assets. Parallelly, we continued the vertical level resolution as well, but the broad feedback was that there were not many takers for the vertical level assets also. So finally, we zeroed it on the asset level monetization. Monetization was our primary objective, but apart from that, during the intermediate period, we also undertook restructuring of the assets wherever we felt that restructuring could result in better performance of the assets. Recovery, of course, was another objective. For the purpose of resolution, we adopted several modes. Monetization was most important and the ultimate mode. But besides that, there were some entities where there were no operations. There were hardly any assets in those entities. There were liabilities. So those entities were identified. These had become irrelevant over a period of time. There was hardly any role for those entities, and there was large number of such entities. So we identified those entities, and we started the process of identifying closure mode for them, like Section 10 of IBC or Section 271 of Companies Act, or like that. So these were marked for closure. Thirdly, we had certain road assets which were stuck up at different stages of construction, and ILFS at that point of time did not have the financial wherewithal to actually complete these projects. So in respect of these projects, we requested NHAI to take over. So we surrendered these projects. These were terminated, surrendered, and whatever terminal values NHAI and ILFS agreed to, those were accepted. In some cases, the settlement is still going on, though the process started way back in 2000, early 19, I would say, but still it's going on. Then InVIT actually, in fact, arose out of necessity. We had put on block for sale, if I remember correctly, some 14 road assets at some point of time. Barring a few exceptions, maybe 2 or 3, the values we received were extremely suboptimal. And the board decided not to accept those bids and explore some other revenue. Then some bright sparks of our organization came up with the idea of InVIT. Most of us were completely unaware of the concept and how it's going to be operationalized. But we all, over a period of time, thanks to our management teams, we all got a good hang of what the InVIT is all about. And then it was adopted as a very important mode of resolution for road assets particularly. And I'm very happy, delighted to see that today we are listing the InVIT. By way of InVITs, we are estimating discharge of debt of around 8,952. And I think so far, because some units are to be kept by the sponsor entity as part of the regulations, and some we have not been able to distribute because of certain complications associated, which of course we are handling, and it's in the due course of time those units will also get distributed. But if my back of the envelope calculation suggests me that we have discharged around 8,000 crore of debt through InVIT. Though, of course, for ILFS, the figure, thanks to this listing, would cross 43,000. So I'm very happy to be here, to be part of this event, to be part of all the processes, all the efforts, endeavors which have gone into InVIT and overall resolution of ILFS. In fact, when we were dealing with the distribution of InVITs, we came across several complications. Trading lot was one complication. So then how to deal with the fractional entitlements. So all those issues sorted out thanks to the InVIT team. And I would also like to thank my group executive committee. Of course, this is a humbling moment, and I owe all the thanks and to all those who have contributed to this day. I would like to name a few. Of course, I would be unfair if I try to name everyone, because then chances are that I might miss somebody, and that will not be fair. But definitely, Uday Kotak, Mr. C.S. Rajan, I would like to name them. Today they are not part of our team, but they played a very important role in taking the ILFS resolution to the present level. All the past and present members of the new board of ILFS, all the ITNL board members, RIPL board members, RIML board members, GC, our lender engagement team, our advisors like ANM, CAM, SNR, GT, we received also a lot of support from government, and I would like to thank government, MCA, SEBI particularly, who granted us unusually many exemptions which otherwise are not available to the normal InVITs. So what comes to my mind that, as they say that when you want something intensely, the whole universe conspires to help you get that. So I'm thankful to the whole universe that has helped us to reach this day. I wish all the very best to the team, and I also wish prosperity to our InVIT holders. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing those words of wisdom that have resonated with everyone in the room. Moving forward, it's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. J.N. Singh, Chairman, Roadstar InVIT. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been an IAS officer, retired of the 1983 batch. He has held many important portfolios, including Collector and District Magistrate, Junagadh Member Administration, Gujarat Electricity Board. So give me a minute, your introduction is very long. Joint Secretary, Government of India, Member, Finance, National Highways Authority of India, Managing Director, Sardar Sarovar Nigam Limited, Additional Chief Secretary in several departments like Revenue, General Administration, and Finance, before superannuating as Chief Secretary. So let's once again have a huge round of applause for Dr. J.N. Singh. Over to you.
Good morning, all. Nand, Kishore ji and Malini from the ILFS team and all over here. I'm delighted to celebrate a momentous occasion. Let me continue, actually. This will keep on going. See, the inaugural listing of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust on the NSE, a significant milestone for all of us, and as Mr. Nand Kishore mentioned, a significant milestone for the ILFS new team, that they took such a wonderful job to make us reach up to this point. So naturally, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the entire ILFS board for their visionary leadership in conceptualizing this trust as a means to resolve the stress debt, which was almost a Lehman moment for the country. The Roadstar Infra Investment Trust provides a regulated structure that offers units as securities, which in turn pays regular yields based on the trust's cash flows. The liquidity provided through the listing is a testament to the robust and transparent framework that we have established. This innovative structure has not only addressed the challenges of stressed assets, but has also set up new benchmark. Thanks to my team. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the entire Roadstar team for their untiring work in managing their trust assets and completing the listing formalities. Massive work. I mean, we could see from the sidelines, but yes, a really massive work by the entire Roadstar management and everybody involved there. Your unwavering commitment, hard work, and perseverance above everything have been the driving force behind this remarkable achievement. I'm also grateful to all the intermediaries and consultants who worked on the listing. Let me list them. Axis Capital as merchant bankers, Axis Trustees as trustee to the Roadstar Trust, S&R Associates, and Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas as legal counsels, and all others, including auditors, traffic, and TDD consultants, resolution consultants of ILFS, and many others, all the bankers, everybody who put trust in us and helped us to be prepared for the listing. Thank you all for the support and dedicated effort to make us reach this place. Let's continue to work together to achieve even greater success in future. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to introduce Mr. Danny Samuel, Chief Executive Officer, Roadstar InVIT and ITNL. He has more than 25 years of experience across diverse infrastructure sectors such as energy, roads, and aviation. Preceding his current role, he undertook an international assignment as the Chief Executive Officer in the Asia-Pacific region for ITNL and has also played a pivotal role in numerous capital markets transactions like ITNL's initial public offer, issuance of India's first rated and project bond, inaugural issuance of a renminbi denominated corporate bond by an Indian corporate group. So please help me in welcoming on stage Mr. Danny Samuel. Very warm welcome, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I think this is a very great pride and gives me immense pleasure to stand before you today to mark this significant occasion of the listing of Roadstar Trust. This moment is also a testament to the hard work and dedication put in by the team, the excellent visionary leadership that RIML board has provided to the team, the unwavering support that ILFS management and board has provided for this trust to become a reality, the sponsors of the trust and the numerous advisors and consultants who have worked tirelessly for this transaction to achieve a listing stage. We embark on this new chapter and we are steadfast in our dedication to leadership with integrity, sustainable resources utilization, adaptation to evolving landscapes, and relentless pursuit of excellence. We are also committed to upholding the highest standards of corporate governance, transparency, and accountability, ensuring that our success is both sustainable and beneficial for all our stakeholders. We have a big road ahead, and I would make a small presentation on the trust and its activities before we proceed ahead. Move to the next slide, please. Yeah, that. Okay. Now, while the presentation comes up, let me just touch upon what Mr. Nand Kishore also said, which is basically the background of how the trust came to be formed. The trust was conceptualized after the new board came into being as part of the ILFS board. And when the initial monetization efforts were going on, it was realized that the bids that were coming in for monetization, except a few bids, most of them were suboptimal. They were not giving the kind of value that we had expected of those and which were fairly expected of such assets in the market. That is the time when the ILFS board, and at that point in time, I think led by ably by Mr. Uday Kotak and thereafter by Mr. C.S. Rajan and now by Mr. Nand Kishore ji, they had all supported the setting up of the InVIT. And InVIT offered a platform where these assets could be moved at a fair value, and those units can then thereafter be distributed to the lenders of the ILFS group, thus able to capture a better monetary value for all the assets, and at the same time issuing units which are similar to a pass-through security, where all the cash flows that will flow from all the 6 assets which are there in the InVIT after servicing of debt and operations will go to the unit holders. We believe it will be a good value that the unit holders and the eligible creditors who received units will receive from these units. And with the listing, it also opens up opportunities for the trust to raise further capital and acquire more assets and grow. Not uploaded? So I think the presentation is not coming on the screen. I'll just dwell on a few points before we close it. So this InVIT was also a very different InVIT, as I think was also stressed by Mr. Nand Kishore ji. This is the first time that an InVIT was formed for or as a resolution of stressed assets in the market. This was when it was conceptualized, this was put into the resolution framework by the new board. Thereafter, this was sent to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which also attested to the fact that this is a very good concept, and thereafter it was approved by the Honorable National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. That's how this InVIT was created. This InVIT also required that SEBI gave us a lot of exemptions because we were not in the normal form of how an InVIT formation happens. This was a very different formation of InVIT, and for the first time, SEBI came around, understood the concepts, and gave us a lot of exemptions to make this InVIT listing a reality. The assets which were there, which were identified for going to the InVIT, where we did a fair value of those assets, transferred those assets into the trust at that fair value. All the external debt in those assets were restructured and standardized, and we continue to pay off those debt after the assets moved into the trust. All the group debt that were there in those assets were assigned to the trust against InVIT units which the trust issued. And those InVIT units aggregated at the ILFS group company level, and which were then at the listing time distributed to the creditors of those units. In terms of the distribution of the units, if you look at, I think there were 4 entities which distributed the units. One was ILFS main company itself. The other was ILFS Financial Services Limited. The third was ILFS Transportation Networks Limited. And the fourth was Sabarmati Capital One Limited. These were the 4 entities which collated all the units and distributed it. And the distribution was of 3,500 crores worth of units which got distributed to all the eligible creditors as part of the listing. Touching upon the portfolio of the trust, we have 6 assets in the trust. These are all part of ILFS Transportation Networks Limited. These assets were all operational assets. They were transferred into the trust. We have 4 toll assets and 2 annuity assets among the overall portfolio. These are present in 6 states and cover around 685 kilometers of roads, which translates to 2,786 lane kilometers. In terms of enterprise value, the overall value is 8,592 crores, which is as of September 2024. We have gross external debt in the trust of around 3,620 crores, whereas the net debt, minusing the cash that is there at the InVIT level, at the SPV levels, will be less than 3,000 crores. Some interesting facts to note: post the transfer of the assets into the InVIT, we have actually repaid almost 1,000 crores of debt and paid 440 crores of dues to NHAI as part of the premium. We have done over the last 2 to 3 years major maintenance aggregating to around 250 crores. Of the total units issued, the total units which were created in the trust was around 4,500 crores worth of units, of which 3,500, roughly 78% were distributed to the eligible creditors and forms part of the public pool today. There were units of 15% roughly which were transferred to the sponsor, which is around 688 crores worth of units. And some units were held back by the ILFS group for their contingent creditors, which translates to around 316 crores. Thus, the group, including the sponsor, today holds around 22% of the overall unit issuance, and 78% is with the various eligible creditors. Going forward, I think there are a few strong points of the trust which I want to emphasize here. I think the trust has a very mature portfolio of assets. Of the overall assets, if we look at, the asset has an operational life of around 9.2 crores on an average, 9.2 years as an operational average, weighted average life, and has a remaining life of around 13.5 years. So we have long concessions remaining, and we have good revenue that is flowing in. Our current year's revenue is expected to be around 1,100 crores plus from all the 6 assets, and against a debt of 38%, it is a very good leverage that we have at the trust. So coming to the leverage, as I said, we have a net debt of less than 3,000 crores and enterprise value of 8,500 crores plus, which translates to around 38% leverage at the trust level, which is at par or at par with some of the best InVITs in the market today. With respect to unit holders, I think the SEBI framework for InVIT provides a very good protection for all the cash flow that comes into the trust, which are collated at the trust level, and after meeting operational requirements and lenders, all the cash flows are thereafter given back to the unit holders. This ensures that there is no leakage of cash flow at the trust level, and also ensures that as the assets start doing better and better, the unit holders also reap in the dividends and the profitability that comes from the trust distributions. Listing also provides a growth potential for the trust. Since now being listed, it also has the potential to raise more capital, acquire more assets, and do have more both organic as well as inorganic growth from now on. I think the presentation could not come up, but I thank you all for joining us today, and I wish the Roadstar Trust all the best in the future years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now it gives me immense pleasure to invite on stage the Associate Vice President of NSC, Ms. Parvati Morti. We'll be doing the bell ringing ceremony, for which I invite the dignitaries on stage, Ms. Parvati Morti, Mr. Nand Kishore, Dr. J.N. Singh, Mr. Danny Samuel on stage. We just, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I request all the board members also to please come forward on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause while they're walking up on stage as they welcome this very, very historic moment. Hearty, hearty congratulations. I think we missed the countdown due to the interest of time. Can we have a countdown now? Yes, let's start. Okay, everybody together. Let's start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's ring the bell again. Hearty, hearty congratulations. Thank you so much for doing the honors. Thank you. I request the dignitaries to please take your seats. At the same time, I request Ms. Parvati Morti, Associate Vice President, NSE, to please come forward, ma'am, to address this august gathering. Yes, let's have a huge round of applause for ma'am, please.
Shri Nand Kishore ji, Chairman and MD, Roadstar Infra Investment Trust. Shri J.N. Singh ji, Chairman of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust. Shri Danny Samuel ji, the CEO of Roadstar Investment Trust. Shri Sharad Goyal ji, the Chief Communication Officer of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust. All the distinguished dignitaries, family members, well-wishers gathered out here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and a very warm welcome to all of you for the listing ceremony of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust. The trust, as we saw, as we heard, has a portfolio consisting of 6 road assets, all operating under the hybrid annuity model in the states of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Rajasthan, and Kerala. NSE is proud to welcome Roadstar Infra Investment Trust in our family of listed corporates, and this will be the 2,714th company and the 17th InVIT to be listing with us. A round of applause for that. India is the 5th largest economy and the 4th largest capital market in the world in terms of market capitalization. The market capitalization of NSE listed companies has grown about 98 times in rupee terms since it started its operations in the November of 1994. Today, it stands at about 391.38 lakh crores. That's approximately about 4.49 trillion US dollars. And from today onwards, Roadstar Infra Investment Trust will be an integral part of this. India has become a global leader in capital raising. In the calendar year 2024, NSE facilitated 268 IPOs, which have mobilized collectively about 1.6 lakh crores. That's about 19.5 billion US dollars, which is the highest in the world. This also marks the highest number of IPOs recorded in any calendar year, which demonstrates the growing confidence investors have in Indian capital markets. The total fund mobilization at NSE in the calendar year 24 was 17.9 lakh crores or $209 billion, which is contributing significantly to the overall fund mobilization in India. In 30 years, NSE has had a remarkable journey of enabling a fair, efficient, and transparent capital markets ecosystem and becoming a catalyst for the growth story of India through economic growth, capital formation, wealth creation, and job creation in the last 30 years. Another unique statistic which I'm happy to share with you is that NSE has over 11.1 crore unique registered investor with over 21 crore accounts. We reach 99.8% of all the PIN codes in the country. This covers approximately 20% of all households directly investing in the stock markets today. With infra monetization in the spotlight for both public and private sector, InVITs and REITs will continue to be important vehicles to support financing for infrastructure build-out over the medium to long term. There have been several initiatives from the Ministry of Finance and SEBI to develop this ecosystem and to enable REITs and InVITs to access capital markets in India. NSE has also launched an index in March 2023 for REITs and InVITs to promote and track the performance of the publicly listed REITs and InVITs. I congratulate the entire team of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust, the merchant banker Axis Capital Limited, the legal advisor SNR Associates, the PR agency Adfactors, and all the parties associated for their accomplishment today. We at NSE are committed to facilitate fundraising opportunities and make capital markets more accessible for upcoming organizations to chart their growth stories. We hope that today's successful listing of Roadstar Infra Investment Trust will inspire many more companies to look at the public markets as a promising alternative. This listing day is the start of a strong partnership between us. NSE looks forward to supporting Roadstar Infra Investment Trust in their future fundraising endeavors as well. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. I request you to please be on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate this event, we will now proceed with the exchange of mementos. So I request Ms. Morti to please be on stage. Now she'll be presenting a special memento to Mr. Nand, Kishore, Chairman and Managing Director of IL and FS. Let's have a huge round of applause for sir. I also invite Dr. Malini Shankar, member of the board, IL and FS, and Dr. J.N. Singh, Chairman, Roadstar InVIT. All three of them to please come on stage to receive this special listing memento. It's a very, very warm welcome. This is the iconic NSE bell. Yes. Now we'll also be presenting the Proud to Be badges for all the employees who could not be present over here. These are the listing badges that one could wear, and you can see we are wearing that as well. And NSE will also be representing and presenting the coffee table book that describes the fantastic journey that NSE has had up till now. Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, we would also like to present the 10 a.m. Sir, gentlemen? Yes, sir. Yes. This is the very special snapshot that we've taken of the listing, which is the very, very historic moment that we have welcomed in our lives. So can we have a bigger round of applause for this truly memorable occasion? And with that, hearty congratulations to you once again. Thank you, thank you. I request you please take your seats. Ma'am, I request you please be on stage. At the same time, I request Mr. Prashant Kohli from Axis Capital to please come forward. Very, very warm welcome. Yes. Thank you. Now I invite Mr. Danny Samuel, Chief Executive Officer, Roadstar InVIT, to please come on stage to present a memento to ma'am and some very special partners. I request Abhinav sir also to please join us on stage. Thank you, ma'am. I request sir to please be on stage as we will now proceed with further mementos to be given for the invaluable contributions to teams that have played an important role in the listing. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mr. Nand Kishore. I invite Dr. Malini Shankar. Very warm welcome once again, ma'am. I invite Dr. J.N. Singh. Welcome, sir. I request Mr. Kaushik Modak to please come on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are counting on you to give some applauses, so please freely give that. Thank you, sir. I now invite Ms. Jayashree to please come on stage. Moving forward, I request Mr. S.K. Mitra to please join us on stage, receive the memento. Very, very warm welcome, sir. I invite Mr. Rajiv Oberoi to please come on stage. Very warm welcome, sir. Thank you. Now invite Ms. Preeti Grover. Very warm welcome, ma'am. Thank you. Now I invite Ms. Lubna Osman. Very warm welcome, ma'am. Now I invite Mr. Prashant Kohli from Axis Capital. Very warm welcome, sir, once again. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Harish Patel. Very, very warm welcome. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Sudeep Mahapatra from SNR Associates. Very, very warm welcome, sir. Thank you. Now I invite Mr. Kranti Mohan and Mr. Abhijit Das from Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. Very, very warm welcome. Thank you. Now I invite Mr. Venkatraman from A&M. Now I invite Ms. Shifali from Grant Thornton. Moving forward, I invite Mr. Milind Gandhi, CFO, Roadstar. Thank you. Now I invite the Finance Controller of Roadstar, Mr. Vijay Kini. Very warm welcome, sir. Now I invite the Compliance Officer at Roadstar, Ms. Jyotsna Matonkar. Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Mr. K.R. Khan, CEO, IL and FS Engineering. Now I invite Mr. Rajneesh Saxena, COO, Alsamex Maintenance Services Limited. Thank you, and thank you, sir, for doing the honors. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final segment. Let's have once again a thunderous round of applause for this absolutely wonderful, historic moment that we have welcomed in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly grateful to our host NSC, the placement agent to the issue, our members of the board, our family and friends, well-wishers, our unit holders, and all the viewers who took time to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. Let's have a big round of applause for each one in the room to celebrate this very, very historic moment here with us. Thank you so very much. This is Dhwani Karya signing off. Also, the stage is all set. You can come, click pictures with the iconic NSC bell, and we have refreshments served in the F&B area, so please enjoy that as well. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you.